This is a great tradition. We've been doing this since 1967, giving the Alumni of the Year award. And it is my great honor to introduce John Vandagriff as the 2019 Alumnus of the Year. And I'll tell you that we had more nominations for Alumni Awards this year than I have seen in my 20 plus years of heading this up. Very impressive people. People that each deserve recognition for what they've done in their careers and how they've served the institution. And the resumes of Dr. Harris and Keith, they just speak for themselves. We are so proud of them. Indeed, distinguished alumni. But as far as the 2019 Alumnus of the Year goes, timing is everything. Could there have been a better time for John Vandagriff to win this award? In our sesquicentennial year, as we look back on the history and the heritage of this great institution, could the selection committee have chosen anyone but the man known as Parker County's historian? Could there have been a better time after John spent nearly 2 years painstakingly writing our pictorial history book? More than 20,000 words, 128 pages, and then gave back his author's fee to the foundation to help fund scholarships. Could there have been a better time after he and his wife Dottie established the first new endowed scholarship of the sesquicentennial year? Could there have been a better time just a few weeks after John gave the keynote address to a packed lecture hall during our first ever interdisciplinary academic conference, a lecture about the history of Weatherford College? Now, John's life up until this already warranted recognition. 16 award-winning years as a journalist, 34 years in higher education, 3 local history books to his name, a long record of civic service to the Optimist Club and retired teachers and Northside Baptist and the Doss Heritage and Culture Center, and on and on and on. These are some of the reasons that he was named a distinguished alumnus of Weatherford College a few years ago, 9 years ago to be exact. And his love for this institution is well known. I like to call John the Weatherford College evangelist. He loves to sport his black and gold as he travels all over this country and really all over the world. People see that windbreaker or golf shirt and they ask, what is Weatherford College? They better pull up a chair because it's going to be a while, my friends. But this year put it over the top. As President Farmer said in a nomination that he sent in, 100 years from now, Weatherford College faculty and staff will read John's book. Think about that. That's true. They'll read about the college's first 150 years. He has contributed something very, very meaningful and long-lasting to Weatherford College. And on a personal note, I have really enjoyed getting to know John as my friend through this process. He's a good man, and he has a great enthusiasm for life. Isn't that important? Timing is everything. Now it's time to bring him up. The 2019 Weatherford College Alumnus of the Year from the class of 1955, Mr. John Vandagriff.
Thank you, Brent. Weatherford College and I go back a long way. I've had some of the people say, well, were you in one of the first classes? I felt like it sometimes. I have a great family history with Weatherford College. I had an uncle, an aunt, and 3 older siblings who attended Weatherford College. And around the Vandagriff household on the west side of town, when I was growing up, there were 2 unwritten laws. One, you will attend Northside Baptist Church, because that's where our grandfather and grandmother started, and you will go to Weatherford College. So when I got into high school, I didn't have any choice. Weatherford College was next on the line. Well, I started working at the Democrat. I had worked there nearly 2 years when I enrolled on South Main Street there in 1953. And the first week in class, President Parrott called me into his office. For a freshman student to have the president call you into your office, you begin to wonder what's going on. Well, I sat down, he was typing, and the room was very silent for a little bit. And then he turned around and he said, "John, are you still working at the Democrat?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Would you like to be the press representative for Weatherford College?" I said, "Yes, sir." And immediately he turned around and typed out a little press pass. It said, "John Vandagriff, as press representative of Weatherford College, is entitled to attend any college event free of charge."
Wow.
And better than that, it said, I would have excused cuts from classes. How great an introduction to college is that? Well, I spent quite a bit of time between the Democrat and between Weatherford College there on South Main Street. Many of you people who are here today are people that I grew up with. I really appreciate my family filling up these tables here and all of my friends that I look out and see. Well, Weatherford College realized something to me because I was going to have to change my life. I was pretty much a shy kid growing up, and a lot of people didn't think that I would make very much out of myself. And I went in and I said, if I'm going to be a press representative, I've got to learn to speak. So Roy G. Elders provided me with that background. He taught me speech. Well, one of our other teachers, Raymond Stockard, my foreign language teacher, he helped me with something that was very important in my life. He taught me how to translate algebra from the board when I was sitting on the back seat. That's when I got my glasses. I could see the numbers on the back of the football players and didn't have to know them by name and by position. But the really big thing that affected me at Weatherford College was my introduction to Bill Rock. He was my history teacher. And he would sit there in the class. We had 3 walls of blackboard, and he would start on a Civil War battle and go all the way around, or a Texas battle and go all the way around. And I realized then that that was what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to know about history, and I wanted to follow that through. Well, graduated from Weatherford College, went down to Brownwood, worked at the paper down there for a couple of years, and came back home. They called me from the Democrat and asked me to be sports editor. So I came back, and as a result, I was back with Weatherford College. I used to come down after the workouts in the afternoon. Betty Jo Crum and Martha would have their girls working out. They would play. Then the boys would come, and after the boys got through working out, we'd have little pickup games. And one of my good friends, Rod Embry over there, used to challenge me to playing horse. Now, Rod is not much taller than I am, if he's as tall. But he could stand in the corner and put that ball in the basket time after time again. You can tell who won the games. It wasn't me. Well, when I graduated, came on back, I worked my way up to be managing editor. And my last year at the Democrat, we were fortunate enough to win runner-up for sweepstakes in Texas Press Association. We lost a contract for printing Fort Walker's paper, and when they did, they said they had to cut. Well, I taught 1 year here in Weatherford and then went to Tarrant County College. And when I got to Tarrant County College, I realized that that's really where I needed to be. I needed to be in the classroom. And I started out doing photography and journalism, and then I wound up being a history teacher. While I was working in the district office, one of the things I had to do was to set up the booths for the events like Bayfest and the rodeo. I was walking around one day at the rodeo, and I noticed the Weatherford College booth. There were a couple of young girls there, and I walked up and I said, "I graduated from Weatherford College before you were born." And they laughed and looked at me, and we talked a little bit. And one of them said, "Do you have a Weatherford College belt buckle?" I said, "No, I didn't know they had any belt buckles." "Would you wear it if we gave you one?"
Wow.
I wear this nearly every day of my life. Weatherford College has meant a lot to me. And when I retired, I came back home, and one of the first things I had to do was to go to the ex-students' luncheons. And again, it started with Brent there, and Brent didn't let me just come occasionally. He wanted me there every time we met. And as a result, I'm getting to realize that I had another opportunity for Weatherford College, and that is Kevin, Brent, President Todd provided me with t-shirts and hats that I could wear everywhere I went. And when I would go someplace, they would say, "Weatherford College, what is that? Where is it?" "The oldest junior college west of the Mississippi." Also, they, Evelyn particularly, has provided me with pens, Weatherford College on it. And everywhere I go, I put these pens out, and people say, "Well, where's that?" Just got back from San Diego recently, and I had been into the History Center because I had to do a bunch of stuff there. And I pulled out one of these pens, and they said, "Where's Weatherford College?" And I said, "You don't know about Weatherford College?" So we had a little discussion for a while, and I told them about Weatherford College. Well, Brent, I should have put on there the information that you had. Don Newberry and I, when we were working in the Speakers Bureau downtown Tarrant County College, they always ask, "Give us a bio sketch." And I would write at the top, like Don had taught me, use 1% or less. You didn't do that. Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate Weatherford College. Weatherford College really has meant a great deal. My son, my daughter went to Weatherford College. Nephew over here went to Weatherford College. My friends who took care of my sister for many years went to Weatherford College. And so many of you that I have seen around the room either were classmates or came afterwards. It holds a very strong place in my heart. Somebody asked me, "Well, are you going to write the next book?" And I said, "I do not think that I will do this another 150 years." But I have enjoyed my experiences with Weatherford College. I think Weatherford College has had one of the finest faculties that you could find in any place. The thing that set Weatherford College faculty apart from all the others that I've been around is their interested students. I'll talk to you about Bill Wallop. His wife Joyce was the head of the business department at that time. And as a young reporter for the Democrat, I would get through in the afternoon, and I headed up there on the street just down from Cherry Park, knock on the door. Joyce would come to the door, and she'd say, "John, Bill's in the den." I walk in there, and we would sit and talk. She would bring in coffee and cookies, and I felt at home there. that was really what got me started. And then when I went to Howard Payne, Dr. T.R. Havens was the head of the department there. And I asked him the first week in class, Dr. Havens, I lived up there on the west side of Weatherford, and there was a hill out there that we used to climb. We called it Horseshoe Mountain. He said, no. That Shirley Hill that's on Tonto's property, used to be a lot of Indian artifacts there, but they're all gone. I thought, well, that's pretty sharp. So I asked him something else, and I would not tell him where it came from. And he would give me the full history on it. And I said, if he knows that much about Texas history, I want to be in all of his classes. Well, you can see why I come back to Weatherford College. Weatherford College has the finest faculty, they've got the finest staff, and when Dr. Farmer was selected as the new president, I thought, this is a good finishing point for me. Thank you, Aaron, thank you, Brent, thank you, Todd. I appreciate you. Go Power!